Hi, I'm John Lentini here with Anime on Location, and we're at Ohayocon 2015. I'm here with Chris Ayres. How you doing today?
Doing very well, doing very well.
So you're being roasted this year. What do you think your friends have in store for you?
I am almost afraid. I am almost afraid. We've got some incredibly witty and funny people, and we've got Rob Mungle, who's a professional stand-up comedian. He was part of a group that was at one point called the Unbookables because their material is that raw. So I'm really anxious. Actually, I'm very nervous about what I've written. So I just hope it stands up to being as strong as what everybody else is going to have.
All right, let's talk newer anime. How about Little Buster's Refrain?
Oh, I love Little Busters. I had such a good time doing seasons 1 and 2. And then it's very interesting. This series takes a much darker turn. I mean, a real dark turn. The story is just amazing, but it goes from dark back to happy. I'm not spoiling anything, but it is a gut-wrencher. It is gut-wrencher, and it will break your heart. I say, as much as the first one made you laugh, get some tissues to watch the second half because it gets pretty heavy. But it's a great watch.
So, besides the darker aspect, how does this differ from Big Wind-Up or Princess Nine?
I think, especially in this final season, it gets much darker than either of those shows. And also in a lot of ways, it's very silly. It's very light and very silly. And again, you've got a mixed gender team. So that already brings with it very different dynamics, and it's a very sweet show. I think it's a good show to introduce kids to anime with. There's not a lot of language. It's just good, fun storytelling.
Tell us about the title. Is it Leviathan?
Leviathan.
The Last Defense.
Oh, such a fun show.
Drink break.
Yes, got to get a sip of the Coke. I will say when I watched it subtitled, it was a good show. But, oh my Lord, when we got Clint Bickham's scripts in, he took every element that I really liked about it and punched it up 100-fold. And it's a neat little story. It's a very small cast. A couple of newer faces, several veterans. You've got Caitlin French. The three female leads are Caitlin French, Hilary Haig, and Brittany Karbowski, and Monica Rial. So you with that group of ladies, you can't go far wrong. And it is very funny, and it's an adventure. It's another one that's good for kids too. There's nothing really objectionable in it. So
is the artwork similar to something like Clamp or maybe Magic Knight Rare Earth? I noticed the color schemes are kind of like MKR.
A little. I wouldn't say so much, but a little bit like Clamp. It's like some of Clamp's stuff, not all of it, but some of it.
And then we also have Ambition of Oda
Nobunaga.
Thank you.
As most people are familiar with the phrase Oda Nobunaga.
Okay.
This is Oda Nobunaga. It's a story about a boy who is thrown backwards in time to the Sengoku era, except it's not the Sengoku, and he plays Sengoku era games, computer games, so he knows everything about the history. Unfortunately, this history that he's thrown back into, Shibata Katsuie, Akachi Mitsuhide, all of those characters are all female. And Oda Nobunaga is now a beautiful teenage girl named Oda Nobunaga. And so some of the characters are male, some of the characters from the history are male, some are female. And it's all about him he falls into the place of Toyotomi Hideyoshi, historically. And who became an advisor to Nobunaga and was eventually the guy to more or less help unify Japan. He falls into that role as kind of an advisor, a sandal bearer at first, then advisor. But he uses his knowledge of history through the video games to try to help say, oh no, we should do this in this battle. Oh no, we should go this way. Oh, we should build a castle in one night. It's that kind of thing. So it's a really fun, cute show. And the neat thing about it, I used a lot of newer voice actors on it. Well, newer for the studio because two of the guys in the show you probably have interviewed before, Nick Landis and Scott Frerk from Team 4-Star. Oh, two of the members of Team 4-Star that do DBZ Abridged are in the show. Did an amazing job. They're wonderful guys and great actors.
Also in the series, does it pull elements from classic anime but with a different twist?
Somewhat. Well, it's more like pulling elements from classic history, and then putting this new twist because of, he's got a cell phone at one point that he uses. It's his magic box that has the sounds coming from it. But of course, the battery's going to die. After a while, there's nowhere to plug it in the Sengoku era. So there's a lot of elements like that. It's not so much different anime twist, but it's history with this twist added to it.
And finally, I just got word this week from you. Tell us about World God Only Knows Goddesses.
I am so excited.
Drink break.
I'm so excited to be working on the show. It's a great franchise. The studio, of course, did seasons 1 and 2, and then the director who did that is no longer working with the studio, so he, when this third season came along, they handed it to me. Well, I've always enjoyed the show. I've always loved the show. It's got an amazing cast, and so it was nice to jump into a show that I have such respect for. And it's really nice. We've got have a lot of the cast returning. Chris Patton is back. Lucy Christian, a lot of those people. But we've also added several new actors. And it's interesting because all of my actresses, and I don't want to give away too much of the plot, but several of the characters from the first 2 seasons and a couple of the newer characters have goddesses hidden in them. There are 7 girls with goddesses in them. Just like the Japanese did, we have our actresses playing the character and the goddess, which means that these actors are having to do scenes with themselves. And that's very tricky. You don't want them to sound like the same actor. And so we have actors that really can pull 2 different voices, having complete scenes with them. So it's really, really nice work on the part of everybody in the show.
Was that challenging for you as a director, or was it more because of the talented voice actor?
Because of the talent we have, it actually made my job a lot easier. Every now and again, I'd tweak something and say, hey, can we change this up a little bit? Give me a slightly different read. You're sounding too much like the old self. The hardest characters was probably Hilary Haig's character, because Hilary's got such a distinctive voice, and the character is very shy, and the goddess is even shyer. So you've got 2 characters that are almost alike, both being voiced by the same actors, and that became a real challenge. But you know what? Hilary was up for it. I mean, there's enough variety so you can tell which one is speaking. Caitlin French actually plays 3. She plays the girl, the goddess, and the goddess possesses this doll, and sometimes talks through the doll. So she also had this creepy doll voice that was really a lot of fun. She had a really good time with that. So it's a fun show.
I think we covered everything, but any current or upcoming projects you can talk about at this time?
There are a couple that I would love to be able to talk about that I'm so excited about. I just finished one that is amazing and got some new talent in it, and I would love to be able to talk about that. I'm working on one currently that I'm really excited about. I'm heading into one in a couple of weeks that I'm overjoyed about, but daggone non-disclosure agreements. So thank you.
No. Chris, it's always great talking to you, man.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the roast.
I will try to.